We all know who Pac-Man is. When it came out May 1980, it was an instant smash hit, and basically every kid was mortgaging their parents' homes for quarters so they could play it. These kids grew up and told their children about this game, which has only made the game even more popular, leading to many games starring the little yellow bastard even to this day. We're not going to be talking about these more recent video games in the Pac-Man series. I'm going to be talking about something that dates back to the first years in Pac-Man's popularity. There's a game that was made back then starring Pac-Man that seems to be hated still to this day, and that game is Atari's adaptation of this arcade classic. Pac-Man for the Atari was released back in 1982. Pac-Man had been out for about 2 years now, and the demand for a version that was able to be played at home was pretty great. The most likely reason was that the parents of these children were broke due to their kids using all their savings on quarters to play the arcade cabinets. So when the news came out that Pac-Man was coming out for Atari 2600, obviously everyone was excited that they only needed to buy one thing so their child could stop asking for quarters forever. This created a hype culture in which everyone was expecting a great Pac-Man game for their house. But obviously when they got this instead of this, they were pretty disappointed. The hype that existed before died out and was replaced with anger, as what consumers were expecting wasn't what they were supplied. And even the people who played the game, who weren't in the hype, still disliked it, as it looked and sounded horrible compared to the original hit. And nowadays, Pac-Man for the Atari is still greatly disliked by people. One thing that could have made somebody dislike the game when seeing it nowadays could be this video called Pac-Man for the Atari 2600, where whoever is playing the game must have a broken console or a damaged cartridge, as the ghosts seem to be broken in this video. This is how the game should look, and this is how it looks for Jimbo Games. Now I'm going to talk about my opinion of the game. Personally, I enjoyed the game. When I first played it, I was around 10, when my parents borrowed the Atari from our uncle for a while. I thought it was easier than the original because the ghosts stay in the house after they are eaten and don't come out until the pellets effect has gone away. But besides that, I don't have much else positive to say about the game. To me, I don't understand why they couldn't just make it look more like Pac-Man. I mean, look at Mrs. Pac-Man for the Atari 2600. They at least could have made it look decent compared to Pac-Man. They didn't even animate Pac-Man looking up and down. And when you eat a ghost in Pac-Man, he always faces right. This is most likely because the people over at Atari didn't value this game's quality as much as other games they were making. I think what made the game so bad was both the quality and the hype around it. But I still find this game decently fun. I would give it a good 3 out of 5. The last thing I want to cover is, why are the pellets in the game bars? I know that the Atari could make dots. I mean, I never understood that game design. It's not that hard to do, even. That's been my first review of a video game. Funnily enough, it's the Atari version of Pac-Man. It's probably the weirdest thing to review. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to smash that like button. If this video reaches 10 likes, I'll be happy. Have a nice day.